We are now joined by Hofstra head coach Mike Farrelly following the game at Northeastern. Mike, if you could start us with an opening statement, please. Thank you.
Yeah. Bear with me, fellas. Sorry. So, but we didn't match their physicality, toughness in the first half. A little bit of a wake-up call that way, and it was certainly evident. Our defense was solid in the first half. A couple of short closeouts, but really they were being physical, guarding us, and we struggled with that. We struggled with that today. Weren't ready for it, and the refs are letting you play a little bit, and you got to play through those, and finish them, and just be tougher, be a little bit more physical with them, with the ball. So a lot of time you think about toughness, think about, get in a defensive stance and get a rebound and all that stuff. But you have to be tough with the ball against Northeastern. And I don't think, and we certainly weren't good with that in the first half. Being in the second half was remarkable. 10 minutes, 12 minutes, whatever it was really, really good. I think it was an 11-0 run. I don't know for sure. I don't have that in front of me, but really good for a start. And that's who we need to be. The energy that we played with there, we met their physicality and exceeded it. We got the defensive stops that we needed to. The energy was great. Give them credit. They made a bunch of shots, and then, kind of that 4-minute stretch is really what I need to go back to, 7:45-ish to the under 4 timeout. They made shots. We didn't. Not sure I was calling the right things to make sure we're getting the right shots and the right looks. Against Northeastern, they're very good defensively, so you have to be calculated in what you're going to do offensively to get some good looks. And I didn't necessarily do a good job in that stretch.
Our first question will be from Owen O'Brien from Newsday. Go ahead, Owen.
Hey, Coach. What's some things in which you guys just kind of talked about at halftime to get out to that great start?
Yeah, just, being tough and physical with the ball. They're a tough, physical defensive team. And when, the ref's going to let you play a little bit, and you need to match that physicality. So, probably didn't do a good enough job of preparing them to be tough and physical with the basketball for this one, but certainly caught their attention at halftime with that. And we were, I can't think we came out a little bit more calculated, tougher with the ball, got some good finishes, etc., and got off to that start because of that. And then, you're scoring, it helps your defense normally, and the energy was great on that end too.
Our next question will be from Andrew from WRG. Go ahead, Andrew.
Hey, Coach. In that first half, it seemed like Northeastern was able to really lock down Isaac Conte. In game situations where Conte is not able to dominate down low like he usually does, how can you guys be able to, get the offense going when he can't be the lead guy down there?
Yeah, I mean, look, we need contributions from everybody, right? It's not just Isaac. There's certain matchups that you love for Isaac. And, we knew going in today that it's going to be hard because they're going to be really physical with him. They're playing without a couple of their big guys. So they're a little bit smaller, but very, very physical, strong guys with lower centers of gravity, et cetera. And play with some toughness. And they're bringing double teams, which Isaac is starting to see more. And we certainly need to help him through and help him get better with that. So, look, when you're doubling the post every time, can't expect Isaac to be scoring or even shooting a lot, so you got to attack those post opportunities when you have them early. And if not, then you got to be able to play out of double teams like they're throwing at us. And then other guys got to step up and make shots. We don't, it's been Isaac a lot, recently, but, certainly we have a balanced team and a bunch of guys that can score and make plays, and other guys got to step up and do that. And we certainly have the capabilities of doing that. Everybody's going to guard you in a different way. Try and take away Jalen's, Tariq's threes, try and take away Isaac's post-ups, Caleb off the ball screen, and how do you respond when people try to do that? We're in conference play now. People know each other, know their personnel really well, and you got to make those adjustments based on how you're getting guarded on a game-to-game basis.
Our next question will be from Jerry Beach from Flow Hoops. Go ahead, Jerry.
Hey, Mike, you guys obviously had a pretty good run on Thursday afternoon, too, before Northeastern came back. I know it's only been a few minutes after this game, but have you been able to put a finger on why you have that those pockets of really high-level play and why you have not yet been able to kind of maintain it?
Well, I mean, you can't play like that for 40 minutes, right? It's not physically possible. We went on an 11-0 run or whatever it is. You're not going 100-0 against Northeastern. It's not going to happen. It's a game of runs, right? It's how do you stem the tide when things are not going well, and how do you keep it going when things are going well? But certainly not going to be a 40 minutes where just everything's going right. So, when we hit those pockets when things are not going well, we have to be able to rely on our defense and be able to get those stops and hopefully to get out in transition, which, we excelled in first half yesterday, 2 days ago, and then had some opportunities early. But when you don't get as many stops, you don't get those opportunities to run, So that's why you got to get those stops, to be able to maybe get an easy opportunity, especially against a half-court defensive team like Northeastern.
Our next question will be from Milton. Go ahead, Milton.
Hey, Coach, I was curious what you thought of how you guys were, of the quality of the rotations and the contest that you guys were getting on Northeastern's perimeter shots, especially in the second half.
I'm sorry, our defensive rotations?
Yeah, your defensive rotations and how you guys were contesting shots on the perimeter. I just like what you thought of like their effort, the how crisp they were, et cetera.
I'm sorry, their defense?
No, sorry, your guys' defensive rotations to Northeastern's shooters.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Well, look, Tyson got going, right? Really good player. First team all-conference guy, could be in the mix for player of the year, all that stuff. He's playing great, played at a high level, and he got going. Made however many it was in a row, got hot. The one I think I'd love to have back was he made one with about 1 on the shot clock. We probably didn't get up and guard him enough. And he made it from deep, but give him credit, he made the shots, right? So, I think our defense for the most part was pretty solid, but at the end of the day, you're not going to get a turnover every time. People are going to get a shot up, and if you make shots, you normally win. They got a bunch of shooters. Obviously, that's one benefit for them to their big guys being out is they have more skill. More guys that can do more. Having 5 shooters out there against the zone, which poses challenges. Probably a little bit to their advantage that way. On that side. And they got a bunch of shooters, but you take away Tyson's, whatever it was, seemed like 4 in a row or 4 in a decent stretch, and overall they got some looks, but they're going to. They're playing 5 shooters at a time.
Our next question will be from Max. Go ahead, Max.
Hey, Coach. Max Milstein, WRHU. After 2 tough losses this weekend, how do you guys regroup for a weekend series with Delaware next weekend?
Yeah, you got to learn and grow from it. Look, and I said to the guys down there, and it was a great locker room. It was probably the best locker room of the year. Now, you know what? Obviously, the Richmond game was the best locker room of the year. But this was the second best because you saw how much it hurt, and you saw the pain in their eyes and the disappointment. And that's based on the culture that we have and have built here, and why we've won championships. It's not a game where they just, we lost. And, all right, well, who do we play next? Or what I get for post-game meal? It really hurt. It really hurts. That was maybe the most encouraging thing I saw all day, even above how we played for that, 10 or 12 minute stretch. So, so that was really encouraging. And they're a really good team, and we just got to keep continuing to build and to grow towards March, right? You don't play for championships on January 9th or whatever today is, right? In basketball, you win them on March 9th, and probably a very good chance that we'd see these guys again at some point. And, how do you learn and grow to get better for the next time that you see them? And what lessons did you learn from playing them, these 2 times? But look, excellent program, highest level of respect from them. They're really good. But I was happy with how we responded after the game there.
Our next question will be from Owen O'Brien from Newsday. Go ahead, Owen.
Yeah, and on Tyson also making a bunch of those outside shots. I know on Thursday, he wasn't exactly the guy hitting those outside shots. So how much does it show, even with this format of your playing teams, like twice in 3 days, how different each game can be, even in that short span?
Certainly, yeah, very different identities, right? Is it an offensive game, a defensive game? We saw that with William and Mary last weekend, where it was a defensive battle on one day, and then the other day, the offenses, got going and got loose here. Game of runs, games of halves. Yeah, they're going to be different. They're going to have obviously the other game with what we did in the first half than what they did in the second half. So yeah, they're certainly all going to have different identities and lives of their own. But that's college basketball, right? That's when you're playing with 18 to 22-year-olds. Each game's going to take a life of its own.
Our final question will be from Andrew from WRHU.
Hey, Coach, I noticed in the game, I think it was the first time this season where you had all 3 freshmen, Vukashin Masic, David Green, and Kayvon Kramer, all out on the floor at the same time. Is this something maybe we could see in the future, the 3 young guys running the floor out there together?
Yeah, well, you know what? Positionally, it's a little bit difficult because, David and Kayvon basically play the same spot. So it's hard for them to play too much together. And you don't necessarily always love playing freshmen. because you win in mid-major basketball, especially with older guys. But look, we have 3 good freshmen, and we need to continue to help them grow and to help them develop and get better. Bright futures for all of them. To play them all, but we're really limited on numbers too, with where we were able to go on the bench today too. So, and even guys that are playing, how banged up a couple guys were. So, I don't know if I'd expect a lot of those 3 freshman lineups, just kind of out of necessity that we needed to go to it at some point today.
Thank you, Mike. Travel safe.
Thank you.